Welcome back, Art Slugs. You haven't been sluggards, have you? You've been drawing, right? You better have been. That's what we're all about, getting better at drawing. Today we're going to go through a tour, and hopefully this inspires you to keep drawing and shows you some of the things I did. This is about a character I created, Gecko Boy. I'm later going to create a series on him, and so I've been slowly building and writing. And we're going to go through sketches, seeing all the things I did. So right here, we're going to look at Gecko Boy. Let's look at the first page. Nothing to do with Gecko Boy, but I kind of did this whole little wilderness, hunters kind of walking, old guns. Supposed to kind of winter vibe is what it is. I started to draw this character. Actually, this character is a friend of mine that I was trying to draw him kind of as an anime character. And then I kind of gave up because it was looking ugly. So I moved on. Looking over here, this one I really like. I was looking at some of the Minecraft anime, so I kind of drew this creeper, dynamite, anime girl. I like the pose. And then this one I just had an art reference of, so I kind of just popped that over there, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty good. So I drew those, sketched them, got a lot of praise for those. This one, there was an artist. They drew this picture of a samurai and the woman kissing, but they had a sword through them. So I thought that was kind of sad. So I kind of looked at the picture as reference. I drew the same type of picture except for, and I tried to do the kissing, didn't do as well as they did, not even close, but I did the sword with blood on it. I thought it was really cool. I just didn't want it stabbed in them. So I just kind of make them kissing, and there's the sword. Then I tried to draw another reference from their art, and they drew like these really long legs. So I tried to do it, and I thought it looked ugly. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, actually doesn't look that bad, but to me at the time I was like, it looks hideous, so I gave up. So that's why I didn't continue with that. Otherwise I would have. Alright, so then they later had a bunch of references of dragons. So I started taking their references of dragons, crocodiles, kind of just copying what they had and just practicing drawing. And I'm like, so I still look at these and go, they're really good. Didn't have much more of this. It's an artist that I wouldn't follow anymore because they posted like a lot of inappropriate stuff. But at the time, that's what I was following. So that's what the hell they had. Alright, let's see what else they got. Let's go in here. We're going to start getting into Gecko Boy in a minute, I assure you. Alright, here we are. This, as you can see, the first head, if you ever have seen the, what's the anime called? Like Fog Hill, Five Elements. I never remember its name. I never watched the anime, but I watched AMVs from it. It looked really cool. I liked the bird. I liked a lot of the fighting. It was really cool. I had a bird character myself, and I kind of was using him as an inspiration in the way he fights, because I was kind of trying to figure out how my character fought. So I was also trying to design my head, but I didn't want it to be, he's not a peacock, and he's not supposed to have a super long neck. So I was trying to figure out how to draw it. So I first drew him and then was trying to develop it more into my character. So like this bottom one looks very different because it's supposed to fit more my character, which more has an eagle build, but I later developed him to be more almost dragon bird looking, you know. So that's why I kind of started practicing and getting good because I could draw him. So then here I tried to draw it and I drew my hero Gecko Boy and he's trying to fight him and he's failing. Here I tried to draw him head on. Ugly, hated it. This one I really like. This one, he was fighting really well. I liked it because I finally got the picture that I needed. And I was like, yes, this is how I need to draw Foyd. Because I kept trying to draw him, and that's my character. As he comes after Gecko Boy, you know. Because it's supposed to be the lizard, bird goes after the lizard, you know. Alright, here's another picture where Foyd looks more smaller. Foyd's actually supposed to be bigger, but I still like that picture. Here's some pictures of Gecko Boy. I kind of took this. There's an artist. I cannot remember his name right now. But he had a lot of sketches of poses of men, so I kind of was drawing that to get an idea of how to draw a Gecko Boy. And so I just started taking the book and drawing them. And I was later going to come back and finish these, and I still plan to, and throw the rest of characters on it. But I just started practicing drawing it as a Gecko Boy. And I throw a tail on it each time, as you see. More poses, even the woman poses, I'm like, well, I won't be a Gecko Boy, but, you know, still get good practice. Started to draw this one, you know, never finished, don't know what happened. Here, some of them come out really good, and some of them come out a little off. I later would take the same principles that he would kind of teach to draw in other references, like these are other references. Here, I kind of draw this idea. I thought it was really cool. I think I had a dream about this slightly. I don't remember. And I kind of draw it on a little supervillain I have, though. Be a later series. Never finished it, but I was thinking it was pretty cool. Right here, once again, working on kind of getting the body of how he does it with basic shapes and, you know, keep working. Right here, he had a picture, you know, where his character's being pushed down by a giant hand. Well, Gecko Boy ends up having to fight like this giant beastly of a wolf, and you'll get to see pictures of that. And so I went, oh, well, the guy keeps getting bigger, so this would be a really cool idea. So I kind of drew it twice. Didn't like the first one. The second one looked a little better. As you can see, like this one. A lot better. Still not good enough for my taste, but, you know. Here's supposed to be kind of like the idea of the giant wolf. You know, as I say, I kept taking the references he had and kept kind of drawing. He had some references he'd draw of Spider-Man, so I kind of draw it with my character in the pose. Like right here, you see Spider-Man. Here I drew the kind of creatures chasing him, and he's just kind of running away. Jumping through, swinging, kicking, you know, all kinds of stuff. Anything I could. Here's again, he's escaping the giant wolf. Kind of gave him like a string to swing on. Tried to draw a Foyd, didn't look good. Tried to draw the giant wolf from a bigger pose, didn't look good. So I ditched that. Kind of drew this as the idea. This guy, you know, he's got beaten up, tied up, and he's about to be beaten up more with a bat. So I was kind of trying to draw this angular picture. You know, I saw in a reference, tried to do it. Didn't look that good, so I went, forget it. So that's why I never finished it or anything. Another failed here. Blank. Aha! I have a wolf character that is smaller than the bigger wolf, and I was trying to get him down. I just couldn't draw him right angles. He always looked ugly. And then Puss in Boots came out, you know, and they had their character Death, and they really did good angles. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try and draw Death and then change him up enough to look like my character. So I started trying to practice drawing the wolf head and trying to draw Death from different angles. And then I learned Death was just as hard as to draw as my character, so I had the same difficulty, you know. As you can see, so I just kind of did the dark shading on it. Here is one of my villains for Gecko Boy. Here is a potato. And right now he has a little mustache. You know, he kind of cosplays and dresses as different things. He's very a comedy villain, but, you know, he's just a giant potato. Whole story and comedy for him. Alright, here is supposed to be as if the giant wolf came and bit, and he just misses the bite. And he's like, yeah, chomp. I really like this one. I wish I went back and finished it. Me, like, once again, trying to draw the wolf. It just was not coming out good. Try to draw it again. Just looking hideous. You know, looked at actually pictures of references. This one I like. I drew some cars. And I was like, usually I'm not good at drawing cars, you know. If you look at my Inktober, you'll see my expensive car, the very first Inktober. It's pretty ugly. That's basically how good I was at cars. So when I drew these, I went, wow, I'm pretty good. It's amazing how just drawing some simple shapes, you can make it out to make it look like it's pretty good. So I was pretty happy with this. Yeah, I still like that drawing. Here's me trying to draw Foyd. You know, I just really didn't like it. It looks more, people always say Phoenix. I'm like, just try and draw it. Try to draw him again in a different pose. Nothing was working. You know, like he was a very difficult character to draw. This one I like. This is when I decided to turn him to be more dragon-like. When I went, okay, I'll give him a long tail and a little length of neck. I don't want it too long, but more tail, so that way he can really whip that thing around. A more picture of trying to draw my character, Pope Wolfington, you know, which is my character, you know, and he's supposed to be one of the villains. Just not coming out well. Try to draw him because he's not supposed to be too big, but he's supposed to be big enough, you know. Still got a lot of work to do, and I'm like, Gecko Boy came out really good. He just comes out hideous, you know. Got a lot to do. Here's Foyd. I actually kind of like this pose. A picture of an eagle I kind of drew. It's supposed to have Foyd. This one is really awesome. This one I drew a giant shark, which is another one of Gecko Boy's villains. He is also huge. He's missing a hand because he's kind of a pirate. His hand can transform from a hawk to a hand to a gun. You know, he got different things. He's a giant land shark. He's ripped with muscles, got all these scars. My brother had all bad teeth, so they had to take out his teeth. So he has dentures. So I made this shark kind of based on him. My brother's really big and strong, so he's got all this strength. This is one of my older brothers because I've been a big family of 14, believe it or not. But he is big, ripped with muscle, so I had him really strong. I gave him all kinds of quotes that my brother did that sometimes used to drive me nuts, and I would give him that. And then I'd have him have dentures, that these aren't actually his teeth. So he could pull out his teeth and throw them at you and then pop in different teeth for stronger teeth. And that's kind of how I have it. So there's a little joke about his teeth. You know, kind of having fun with it. A little creative idea. So it's not his real teeth, this shark. Alright, blank page. Let's come through. There, I started drawing a picture. Hated the whole body, delete, get rid of it. Like the head. This one, hated it. I was like, come on. This one I didn't mind. Kind of a back pose of him. Didn't look bad. And we're coming to an end, it looks like. Let's see. Blank, blank, blank. I think I might have one more. Let's see. Nope. 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 That's it. That's all I have. I went through it all. That is the sketchbook of Gecko Boy. Thank you for watching, Art Slugs. Now remember, this is supposed to inspire you to start drawing. Draw every day. You can get better and better and better. You're never going to get better if you don't draw. The dream you want, the thing you desire, you want to be able to draw that way. You're like, I want to draw like that. I've always wanted that. I looked at it as a kid. I went, I want to draw like that. The only way to draw like that is you start drawing. Follow the teachers. When people on YouTube who are really good and you see them and they give you advice, do not ignore the advice. I made the mistake. I did not listen to the artists. They all said, stop wasting time drawing anime. Draw anime later. Anime's fun. Draw on the basic principles. Learn to sketch. Learn to draw people. Learn to draw things, items, and then you can transfer that. Anime is a simpler version of real life. Learn the real life. They all told me this. I ignored it because I wanted it to be, oh, you can draw anime and become good. But every single person that's good at drawing anime, they usually didn't just draw anime. You always get down to they always have a better thing. Alright, so you can use it to draw anime, and it's brilliant, and I still say I love drawing anime. But you gotta work on those things. So, don't be a sluggard. Draw those things. Slug Arts out.